A long period of time with us, folks. If you want to write in and ask any questions of Mr. Pickens, feel free to do that. You can write in at squawk@cnbc.com. We'll go through some of these emails, and Mr. Pickens has graciously agreed to answer as many as we can get to today.
It's great. All right, it is an all-star edition of Squawk Box on our list. The legendary oil man Boone Pickens, also Pequot Capital's Byron Ween, and Ben Bernanke is going to be on. Speaking, and we're just putting the camera on him. He's not really here, but we are going to cover it live. Squawk Box is coming right back. Good morning and welcome to Squawk Box on this Tuesday, July 8th. You can see Becky Quick over at the big board, a different big board with Boone Pickens, a big white board. We have lots to talk about with him this morning, including, of course, his new energy plan being released right here on Squawk. Knows a little bit about crude.
A guy who knows quite a bit about it, and we're going to be talking to him all morning. Right now, we're shifting over to the whiteboard as our guest host this morning, Boone Pickens, details his plan to talk about reducing America's dependence on foreign oil. Boone, you've been talking about this for quite a while, but you have a special whiteboard presentation that you've been taking to business leaders and to political leaders. Can you show us?
That's right. Yeah, I kind of pack it on my back and go around this.
How long have you been doing this whiteboard presentation?
Oh, about 6 months.
Okay.
Listen, I've tested the market. I've talked to a lot of people around over the country.
And you're talking business leaders, you're talking political leaders.
Right.
This is what you've been showing them. Can you show us this morning what,
I sure will.
What that plan is?
Let's go to the problem first.
Mm-hmm.
It's $700 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to leave this on the board throughout the presentation because the $700 billion is a choker. Okay, now we're given the responsibility to get the $700 billion down. Okay, so let's see what we have to work with. We've got oil, but our oil is 5 million barrels a day and plus 2 million barrels of natural gas liquids. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's 7 million. Now, there's 85 million barrels of oil available every day in the world.
What are you talking about? The 7 million is what we use in the United States?
How much?
The 7 million that you've got here?
And that's what we use. 1, 2, we import.
Okay.
Okay. Of the 85 million, of the 85 million, we're using 21 million. We get 7 from here, and we import 14.
Okay.
All right. Now, the 21 million, this is a key point. The 21 million is 25% of the 85, and we only have 4% of the population. But on top of that, we have only 3% of the reserves. So this is population, and this is what we use, and the 3% is the reserves. So this is not a very healthy-looking picture.
For the United States.
That's right. And so we're now importing almost 70% of what we use. It's less than that, but it's coming up on 70% very quick. Okay, now look at what we have. We have oil, and this is in decline. Now, are we going to do OCS? I don't know.
OCS?
Outer Continental Shelf.
Okay.
Okay. I'm ready to go for everything to help us and to get away from the import of 70% of our oil.
So you say drill everywhere?
I say, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. And but we also, there's another way out. So second largest natural resource, or the first largest, is coal. Second largest is natural gas. We've got a little biofuels, which was way overstated as to what it was going to do. But use it, all of it. Am I for ethanol? I'm for everything. I'm only opposed to one thing, our imports of oil. Everything else, use it. Okay. Then you go on down and you have wind and you have solar. Somebody will say you didn't put hydro in, so here comes hydro. And then we've got nuclear. But nuclear doesn't quite work for this analysis because it's going to take us too long to get to nuclear. Am I opposed to it? No. I'm for nuclear too. I'm for everything that's domestic, and I'm for nothing that's foreign. Okay, here, when you get down to it, this is really the only one that can do anything about the $700 billion.
Why is that?
there's no other fuel here that you can use in your car or truck.
Okay.
All right. When you look at the pie for power generation, that 50% of our power comes from coal, 20% comes from nuclear, and 22% comes from natural gas. Okay. None of these help the 700 billion except this one. Okay, is the 22. All right, now let me erase down to, I'm going to leave 700 billion because I want that to stick.
On how much we're spending every single year right now on oil imports.
That's right. I want this is killing our economy. You say, well, how did it happen to us? Let me speak to that just a second. What happened to us is that it was almost like that the oil was so cheap that we said, send us the oil, never mind the price. And then one day the price went vertical. And when that happened, we were stuck. And that's where we are today. Outflows of money, we have no plan. If you look at the trains around the world, you know, there are trains that run at 200-300 miles an hour. Our trains still run at 60 miles an hour, and they have for the last 50 years. So we didn't develop our rail. When you look at the number of natural gas vehicles in the world today, there are 8 million, but only 142,000 in the United States.
Why is it that natural gas vehicles have not taken off in the United States? And we should again disclose, you have an entire publicly traded company that is trying to get companies to do just that and to get people to drive natural gas cars.
I started that in 1988 when I was at Mesa. And I thought I could sell the idea because it was cheap, it was clean, and it was domestic. And we had an abundant supply of natural gas. Now I thought, this will sell. I can sell this. Even I can, and I'm not a good salesman. And, but I could. It took me, that was in '88. Here we are 20 years later, and it's happening. The company is doing very well and all, but here we're looking at why didn't we do this? Well, you can look around and you can place blame for it, but there was no sponsor for it.
No sponsor meaning
leadership
from the government?
Well, there wasn't a politician. President Bush liked the ethanol approach, and I didn't like the idea. But do I like ethanol now? I'd rather have ethanol than foreign oil.
But why do you like natural gas over ethanol?
Clean, cheap, abundant, and it's domestic. Is where I am.
People will say the same thing about ethanol, though. They will say we can grow it ourselves, it's domestic, it's relatively clean. What's your argument against it?
Well, if you have a cornfield from Iowa to California and use it all for ethanol, you couldn't do any more than 10% of all your gasoline. You couldn't replace it. Natural gas, you can replace it. Here's my point. Now the whiteboard is the United States, okay? And East Coast, West Coast, Canada, Mexico, key model here, Sweetwater, Texas. This can be duplicated clear up through this corridor. The corridor for wind is like this. And here is the wind capital, which will be Pampa, Texas. I'll make it in caps.
All right, that's your wind farm.
That's my wind farm. 4,000 megawatts is what it'll be. This is 2,000. Shell has one that's right here they're getting ready to do, which will be 3,000.
Shell Oil also doing a wind farm.
Shell Oil, yeah. And we've been contacted by numerous companies to be partners with us on this. A couple of major oil companies, and we haven't decided to take partners yet. But Sweetwater being revitalized, like I talked about a while ago, Pampa here, you can have these right up through and this could be huge recovery for rural America. Then you have...
How much of the nation's energy could be generated through these